Tonight I'm making my quick and easy ciabatta pizza. This is a very easy recipe to do. You have to turn your broiler on to about 350. If your broiler runs hot, turn it to 300. What you do first is you get your ciabatta bread. This is a nice fresh ciabatta bread. You can also use a French bread loaf, but I like the ciabatta bread because it's a very sturdy bread and it holds up well with all the ingredients. The French bread is going to be a little bit softer, but some people like that soft texture, so it's up to you. It works well with both, so just pick the bread that you like. Now, this will make enough for 4 pizzas, but tonight I'm only going to make 2 because there's just 2 of us. Just cut it in half, half-wise, like that, and then you just cut it, you know, lengthwise, like this. Watch your fingers. It doesn't have to be perfectly even. It's okay if it's not. Put it on like a little pan or baking sheet. I'm going to toast this under the broiler for like 2 to 3 minutes. So now we're going to move on to the sauce. And these are the ingredients you need. Garlic. I just buy the crushed garlic because it's really super convenient and I love it and I use it in everything. Olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. Dried oregano, or as the British say, oregano. Sea salt, or kosher salt, any kind of salt you want. Fresh ground pepper, and you need tomato paste. This is my personal favorite tomato paste. I always hated using the canned tomato paste because I found a lot of times I wouldn't use the whole can. What do you do with the leftovers? I felt guilty and bad throwing it out. So that's a good tip. If you don't use a lot of tomato paste, like I don't use tomato paste every single day, I would really highly suggest buying the tubed tomato paste. And you can get this in your grocery store. It's where all the tomato sauce is. So what you want to do, start by doing, is putting like a couple big teaspoons of tomato paste. Like for 2 pizzas, probably 4 tablespoons. I'm sorry, not teaspoons, tablespoons. It doesn't have to be totally exact. If you find that you don't have enough, you can always mix a little more tomato paste in. That's the beauty of this recipe. Then what you want to add in is about 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Now let's do 2. Let's do 2 to 4 ratio. That's important so the bread doesn't scorch. I know there's a lot of people who want to do completely fat-free. I would not suggest skipping the olive oil step because you'll burn your bread. The crushed garlic's really powerful. If you like a lot of garlic, go for it and put a whole teaspoon. I don't want it that heavy garlic taste, so about a half a teaspoon. The oregano, you want to put in about a 1/4 teaspoon. That's about a 1/4 teaspoon. Now all this can be adjusted to your own taste. 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. I'm not a huge salt person, but it needs a little something. A few grinds of fresh black pepper. All this can be adjusted. Obviously, if you like more oregano, put in more oregano. If you like basil, put dried basil in there. You can really doctor this up any way you want. So you just give it a good stir. I hope this is going to be enough. I think it will. I'm going to put 1 more tablespoon of tomato paste. I like quite a bit of sauce. If you like easy on the sauce, then don't. That's about like a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoonful. So just mix it up really, really well, like this. And then taste it. You always got to taste everything. That's the key in cooking. Taste it. That's good. So you got to taste it to see if there's enough salt in there. If you need to add more salt at this point, or add more pepper. I think I'm going to put maybe couple more grinds of pepper. Okay? But that tastes pretty good. So, that's your sauce. Your easy, fresh, made from scratch pizza sauce. So you don't have to use that stuff from the jar. Okay, now our broiler is heated up. So what I'm going to do is put our ciabatta halves in. I didn't put anything on these. You don't have to. If you want to brush them lightly with olive oil, you can. So what I'm going to do is put this in the broiler. Now the one thing to really remember about the broiler is you have to watch things when they're under the broiler. Do not walk away from food when it's under the broiler. I've done that. It's disastrous. It will catch on fire. It will burn. So the broiler is pretty powerful. So what I'm going to do is put that under my broiler like this so it evenly cooks for a couple of minutes, but I'm going to watch it and I'll let you know how many minutes it took. So now I've taken my ciabatta bread out of the broiler, out of the oven from under the broiler. Now this is pretty much what you should go for, this kind of nice golden brown. It took 2 minutes for me at 350. When I put my toppings on and everything, I might turn that down 25 degrees. So, because this went really quick. Take, equal amounts of sauce for each piece. Be careful not to touch the pan because the pan's going to still be really hot from being under the broiler. So just be careful with your fingers. So just take the spoon that you mixed the sauce with and put it on the back, on the top of the ciabatta bread using the back of your spoon, like this. You can touch the bread, it cools down pretty quick, but just be careful with the pan. I've gotten more injuries in the kitchen than I can say. I'm the clumsiest cook on earth. So just be really careful. Yeah, that actually was a perfect amount for 2 slices. Okay, so that's what you're going for right there. Just even amounts on there. So now I will build this. The next ingredient you need is crumbled goat cheese. You can also use mozzarella if that's what you have. I just like goat cheese for this. I just like the taste of it. Oh, that's a lot. So just, sprinkle some goat cheese on there, top of your sauce. There's I tend to be kind of a messy cook also. But it's all good. It's all part of the process. And I buy the already crumbled goat cheese. I have used the goat cheese in the tube that you have to crumble yourself. And frankly, it's just a pain in the butt. So I like the crumbled goat cheese. Convenience, people, paying for convenience. Now, what you want to do is layer on your toppings. What I do is I like this salami. You can use salami, pepperoni, prosciutto, any kind of meat that you want. Now if you're a vegetarian, just skip this step. You don't have to put any meat on here if you don't want to. But I like meat, so I use it. So I just put 3 big slices on here, right on top of the cheese, like that. And then what I do is I take 2 sliced tomatoes. This might be too much, but just put some nice, these were 2 medium-sized tomatoes. So these will hold 4 slices each. So you just put it on top like that. Super easy, super quick, right? That's good. And normally at this point I would put some some Kalamata olives that I've sliced on top, but I ran out of Kalamata olives and I only had 2 in the jar. Very lonely Kalamata olives. So I have these pepperoncinis. So I think they'll add a nice tang. Oh, if I can open the jar. I can't open the jar. Shoot. There. All right. So I'm going to add a few of these. I've got these in my fridge. I like them on sandwiches, salads, stuff like that. So I'm going to put a few of these in. Just put a few on top like that. But you can use black olives, Kalamata olives. The beauty of this pizza is put on whatever you like. It's a free-for-all. Oh look, I used all of my pepperoncinis. Good. It's just a free-for-all, people. So then, what I'm going to do this time, I haven't done this before, but at this point you can put on mozzarella cheese or more goat cheese, but this pack came with this Asiago cheese, and Asiago cheese tends to melt very nicely. So what I'm going to do is put some Asiago cheese on top because I think it's going to be very tasty. But at this point you can also put goat cheese on top. Shredded mozzarella is good. But I think this is going to work because these slices are really thin and nice, and just took 2 slices like that. And what you want to do lastly, take your olive oil, put your finger in the little nozzle like this so it doesn't come gushing out, and just drip some on. This will help it so it doesn't like completely scorch up. Okay, that's it. So now what I'm going to do is, okay, the pan is good now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this under the broiler. I think it's going to probably take 3 minutes maybe, but I'll let you know for sure. Again, when you put things under the broiler, watch it carefully. And we'll see you later. It's cooking away. It's just about done. It's been in for like 2 minutes. Okay. Let's see what we got going on here. Wow. Okay, well, that was an experiment. That Asiago cheese melts really quickly, but they look awfully good. So what you're going for is the cheese to be melty like that, and the sides of the salami to be a little curled up. Bread's crispy. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That took about 2.5 minutes at 350. If you don't like arugula, you can skip this step, but my husband likes it and I like it, and so I do it. The final step is to put some fresh arugula on top. Arugula, if you don't know, it's like, I think it's in the lettuce family. But anyways, it's kind of a peppery green. It's kind of spicy, has a nice bite. It's really popular in Europe, and in Europe they call it rocket. Here we call it arugula. So funny story, when my husband and I went to Italy, we kept seeing on the menu salad with rocket, and for the longest time we didn't know what the heck that was, and we finally figured out that it was arugula. So, anyway. What I'm going to do is plate my pizza. Again, watch the pan, people. Don't touch the pan. Pizza's okay. It's not terribly hot, you know, it's warm. So if you're feeding this to kids, you can pretty much feed it to them right away. It's not going to be like super duper hot. Just take a little bit of the arugula and just pile it on top like that. This also makes it look really pretty and gourmet. Kind of adds a gourmet touch. If you're serving this to people, they'll be very impressed if they like arugula. And that's it. That's basically your finished product. That is the easy ciabatta pizza recipe you can make. Can't wait to eat it. Bye.